don't focus on the techniques, okay? The techniques can be anything. Okay, focus on the principles. Okay? This month, we want to practice a bit on joint locks, okay? Or what we call joint manipulation. So basically, manipulate your joints to affect somebody else. Alright? So
welcome.
Okay, so in karate practice, we often practice with kicking, punching, basically striking. Okay, so hitting something. In our practice, we also practice grabbing or grappling. Okay, there's another aspect of what we call combat or fighting, which is called joint manipulation. Okay, why is it good for you to do joint manipulation? It's because of this. Okay, there is this thing called escalation of violence. All right, so that means if somebody punched the face, all right, I have multiple options available to me. I can of course go and hit him back. I can grab him, bring him to the ground, and I can, of course, break his joint, or I can basically put him on a hold. Okay. So out of these different options, as you would perceive as a non-trained professional, you're not even a policeman. As a civilian, you know that which of these options are more violent than the other. Okay. So if you go on the street, you see somebody punching the face, this is definitely more perceived to be more violent as compared to if I just hold him and do like. Okay, so that's why as a martial artist, as a karate practitioner, it's good for you to know different kind of techniques, okay, so that you have the options. Okay, but of course, it's not to say that you purposely put yourself in danger. Okay, in some defense, if you have the chance, okay, don't get yourself in trouble in the first place. Okay, but if you're there, at least you have different options. Okay, so the joint lock we're going to practice is let's start with the wrist lock. Okay? So hand grabbing onto the wrist. Okay? So to me, this is the weirdest technique to practice against, because who is going to hold your wrist like this, okay, in today's context? Okay, but historically, classical martial arts, they like to practice this because last time the assumption is people carry knife. Okay, if I carry knife, stop me from hitting you. Okay, so for him to, without even training, okay, for him to stop my knife is blah blah. At some point in time, okay, he will go and grab my knife. Okay, so this is why, as a person who is intent to hit him, I need to be able to strip this so that I can continue bringing him harm. Okay, so that's one of the theories of why people last time like to practice wrist lock. Okay, as karate practitioners, you might find yourself in wrist lock situations. For example, like this, so I do a block, I can grab. Okay, because I don't need to run away, okay, so I can take the throw, I can follow him. Okay, so maybe you might need to get away from this. Okay, next month when we do a bit more wrestling and grappling practice, I want to take him down. I get a grapple on his leg. Okay, so I will definitely want to pull this up. One of the simplest things you can do is to push my hand. Okay, so that I can't do anything. So if I really want to put my technique on him, I need to know how to strip in order to throw him. Okay, so these are useful techniques. It's just that in self-defense, nobody will say, "Come lah, $50, 1 hour." It's very seldom that you find this. Okay, we practice $50 1 hour quite cheap. But today we practice this because I want you to learn some important points when it comes to moving somebody else. Okay, so grab cards. Okay, so the techniques we're going to practice later is going to be here. Okay, so this is option 1.
Base that.
If the other side, grab. Okay, 1, 2. So eventually you're going to practice this, okay? So let me give you a bit of context. Regardless whether it's a grab to the wrist or grab to the jacket, which is more often in our practice, or here, or even here, okay? Nobody would really grab you for nothing, okay? They won't like, hey, nice shirt, what you buy? Okay? They will grab and they want to do something. Okay, that something can be, I grab, I hit, or I grab, pick out a knife, I stab, or I grab, friend, be immediately, or don't let you go. Okay, there is always an intention behind grabbing. Okay. Okay. So again, situation can be three in my thought. Okay, it can be mirror image grab. Okay, it can be opposite hand grab. It can even be two hands grab. Okay. All right. This is the first type of grab. Okay. If you have your hand up here, he can grab you this way. Okay. So for the sake of simplicity, the principle is going to be the same. If you can do this, you can also do this game around here. Okay, but let's for standardization, so that everybody understand. Let's start from here. Okay. You know that even without thinking a lot, because you don't have time to think. Okay. If you feel that he's grabbing here, the free hand is going to come this way. Okay. So the safest direction to move if this hand comes is obviously this way. Okay. And definitely not this way. Okay. You definitely cannot step to the back. It's going to follow and hit you. You can come in if you're quick enough and do a hit button to the hit. Okay? But for this practice, because we are focusing on positioning, let's go to the outside. Okay? So instinct number one is footwork and your guard. Okay? Because this one is going to come. Okay? Footwork and guard up. Okay? And get a position here. Alright? So even if he pulls on very tight, okay? I definitely cannot go this way. Okay, but we know that muscle is only meant to move, it's meant to contract. Okay, that means straight line. If I cannot move him along a straight line, I can move him sideways, right? Here. Sometimes you are not strong enough as compared to him, your shoulder does not have the leverage to do this, okay? But you can use footwork. Okay? Your legs are stronger than his whole body. Okay? So as you step to the outside, don't just step like that. Okay? Try to bring your whole body along with you. Okay, so this is number one. All right, move away with your footwork, carry your hand along with you. Number two, even at this position, the grip is still quite strong. To break this away, you need to somehow compromise the grip, okay, or make the grip looser. Okay, one of the ways you can do that is by raising it up. Okay, this way. All right, so two things happened over here. The grip has loosened and his body is off balance. If I choose not to bring this away, I can maybe take it down if I wanted to. Okay, but we are focusing on how to strip the grip, right? Okay, so as much strength as you can. So body smooth. Okay, press the hand down. Okay, so important point. He's gonna prevent me from raising my hand up. Okay, if I move with my elbow, push it up. Okay, you see, even without feeling, you see where the pressure is going to my shoulder. Okay. But if I use my shoulder to drive my elbow and my elbow to drive my wrist, okay, I can raise him up. Okay, because I use more muscle groups and better leverage as compared to him. Okay, this is no different from when you do body punch up. So left punch. Okay, no different. Okay, if you know how to hit properly here instead of doing like that, okay, you know how to use your body to drive great forces. Okay, so same thing. He can press down as much as he like. Okay, but I have better leverage because I know how to use my body. Okay, so keep your elbow down. Once I'm here, okay, face it. Do a karate chop. If I cannot do karate chop, use my hand as assistant. Just strip it out because the pull is already big. Okay, so I repeat again. Okay, don't focus on the techniques, okay? The technique can be anything. Okay, focus on the principles. Okay? Principle number one, I need to move to the side. Okay? I cannot use my arm, I use my footwork. Move to the side. Number two, I need to raise the hand up. Use proper drive of my arm. Okay? Number three, make sure I stay safe. Number four, break away from this loosened grip. Here. Okay? You practice to do. Always remember when you practice techniques, okay, you're in a karate class. Okay? That means you can, at the end of the day, hit. Alright? So that means even if it's hard, even whatever you try, okay, you cannot, okay, you always have the option to go and hit him to loosen the grip. Okay? But because you're practicing techniques, you try not to do that as a first resort. Okay? So in Aikido class, in Judo class, maybe you're not allowed to hit. Okay? But in a karate class, just have at the back of your mind that ultimately, if you do your best, your technique fails, you can still hit and kick and punch and all that. Okay? So if I wanted to, if the grip is strong, okay, I can take a step to the side. If If it's still strong, I can kick, and then I raise, and then I go for a joint lock. Okay. So before we go for a break, next week we will proceed on with the joint lock. Okay. So you have already learned how to break away, right? So up to this point. Okay, if I just cut down like this, okay, he will break away. Okay, but if I want to continue with a joint lock, I need to prevent him from breaking away. So what I can do is to grab onto the fingers, try to take a hand away. You cannot take away, okay, because I have clamped his fingers to my hand. Okay, so if he's not able to take away and I chop down, okay, it's going to be painful for him. Okay, so if I want to multiply my damage to him, I can continue to kick. If you're a security or police officer, you can maintain a hold until you have backup or friends helping you. Right? So this is the purpose of us learning how to do joint manipulation.